Welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ali Gohar. We have much to cover today. We'll begin with the Diplomatic Football League that's taking place in Islamabad. It's been going on for 2 years now, and it's a wonderful initiative. Jerry's has joined hands with Sadrani Oxen Enterprises to launch Jerry's Diplomatic Football League in Islamabad, in which 6 different teams are participating. And the players are, of course, diplomats and local staff of various embassies in Pakistan. And the participating teams include Brazil United, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan, Europe and Arab. So there's a lot to discuss about this football league. We'll talk about that first, and then we'll move on to bodybuilding, the art of bodybuilding and the current state of bodybuilding in Pakistan. We'll be speaking to a husband and wife duo, and they'll brief us and tell us about the current status of bodybuilding in the country. That'll be our second segment. And finally, our On This Day segment, as we call it, we'll discuss Imran Khan, because on this day in 1982, he rolled over Sri Lanka, picking up 8 for 58 in the first and 6 for 58 in the second innings. That should be lots of fun to talk about. But first, we're discussing the Diplomatic Football League with my guest in the studio. I've been joined by Mr. Mubashir Sanjrani, General Secretary, Pakistan Soccer Futsal Federation. Sir, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Great to have you on the show.
Thanks so much.
And on his right, we've been joined by Ms. Agnes Pompush. I hope I've got that right.
Perfectly.
Close enough. Head of Communications at Jerry's. Agnes, great to have you on.
Thank you so much. Pleasure being here.
Mubashir, I'll start off with you. First, tell us, what's this football league all about? I'll give it the brief here, but in your mind, just tell us, if you could brief the audience and our viewers.
Well, it was the idea, the initiative in the last 2 years by Leisure Leagues Pakistan and the World Group, and so we have started this diplomatic league to bring the diplomatic community together, to give them some healthy activity in Islamabad as well, especially for football is a game, is being playing all over the world. So the idea was to have all the diplomats come together, the embassies, and to enjoy, the league as well. So the last 2 games has been lovely. So now we are having the 4th edition of the diplomatic league with Jerry's Diplomatic League in Islamabad, and meanwhile it's going perfect, very nice.
You're participating, right? You're in the Brazil United team?
Exactly.
And you're the top scorer?
Yeah,
right now?
For the moment, yeah.
Not bad. Where do you play?
Well,
up front, I assume.
Right, exactly.
Right. Agnes, first tell us about your role in this diplomatic football league.
We are the title sponsors this year, so it's been a pleasure being there throughout with the Jerry's Diplomatic League. We're there to support Mubashir and the other organizers with whatever we can. Unfortunately, this year we didn't have any players participating, but in fact tomorrow the Jerry's team will have a friendly match with the best players from the diplomatic teams.
I think it's always great, and I think you did speak about this. It's in the Jerry's Diplomatic Football League newsletter. You can see that over here. You mentioned that it's always important to have fun, healthy participation, healthy competition, and this is between embassies, of course. It just, I don't know, gives everybody good vibes and it makes people feel good, and interaction between embassies and people in general is always important.
Absolutely. For us at Jerry's, health and healthy activities, sports, are a major part of our CSR activities. We would like to encourage not only our staff, but also people around us in our communities to engage in sports. Cricket, obviously, is the most popular sport in Pakistan, but football is also coming up, and our management has a keen interest in it. Jerry's, and especially Jerry's Visa, works together with quite a few embassies, not only in Islamabad but in Lahore and Karachi as well. And we thought that this is a great opportunity to help them also spread this message.
I think Agnes has hit the nail on the head here, because we often talk about cricket. We mainly talk about cricket. It is the most popular sport in Pakistan, but football is picking up tremendously, not just in the cities, but in the rural areas of Pakistan as well. And I just think any kind of football league that's going on is important for the country. Your thoughts?
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, we never had the futsal and small side platform. So from the last 2-3 years, I have seen that futsal has been promoting Pakistan. As you know, futsal is small type of game, indoor as well. And now we are having 6 and 7 sides venues as well in Pakistan. So from last 3 to 4 years, football is growing in Pakistan, and especially among the youth.
I mean, just watching, I went to one of these games a couple of years ago, and just watching these embassies participate. I mean, it's a great deal of fun. And that's what it's all about, to get, of course, promoting football, but also to get diplomats to interact and just have a good time in Pakistan. I think that's also, the order of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, the role of diplomats is to interact with Pakistanis, to spread a message. A healthy environment, sports is something that they're especially passionate about. And so most of them really enjoy playing football, so why not combine the two? The enthusiasm has been great from all of the players. They take it very, very, very seriously. Thank you. And this reflects. So if you do something that you really enjoy, I think it catches on. People will be like, this looks really fun. Why don't I try it as well?
Now, I think it's safe to say, and I want to get your take on this, Agnes, but first I'll ask Mr. Sajrani, while Pakistanis love sport, and there's a lot of sporting talent, not just in cricket, but in football, snooker, squash, polo, you name it. But we still haven't developed a sporting culture. Or maybe there was one back in the day when my father was younger in the 60s and 70s. But now it seems to have died out. I just think what we need to do now is develop a sporting culture like you see in other places around the world. I think that's also very, very important, something that we need to focus on.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, because in the past you will see cricket, hockey, football, they were in top. Even Pakistan was one of the best Asian teams as well. Unfortunately, from last few years, we have seen a lot of problems in Pakistan. And number one is the sport policy. We don't have a very nice sports policy, and from the Pakistan Sport Board, and we don't have any Ministry of Sports in Pakistan, like other countries. So in my opinion, we must need to focus on these kind of issues that we have in Pakistan. Although we have a lot of talent in every sports in Pakistan, but of course, I think there will be a time then we will back on the track.
Agnes, where are you from?
I'm from Hungary.
You're from Hungary. So I understand that Hungary, I've never been, but from what little I've heard, please correct me if I'm wrong, you're very enthusiastic about sport in Hungary, all kinds of sport.
Absolutely,
be it football, weightlifting, even tennis. It's a big part of your culture. Something that's missing in Pakistan. I just highlighted that. Now, is that something that you notice living in Pakistan? Is that something we have to work on? And how do we go about doing it? How do we encourage sport to flourish?
Yes, very much so. In Hungary, for instance, in elementary school, so until age 14, kids must participate in physical education. Every single day, there is a class of at least 45 minutes. So I think this way kids learn to appreciate movement, activity, and sports. That's a good foundation. But then you have to also encourage kids picking a sport that they're passionate about. As you said, Hungarians are huge on all kinds of sports, be it football, be it tennis, be it actually tag ball, which is a Hungarian invention. And what the government should do, in my opinion, is encourage people, build facilities, provide education about sports, about the rules, technicalities, and yes, it takes some money and infrastructure.
And Agnes mentioned the government. She's quite right. The government always has a very important role to play, but their role is limited. We know that because of funds and money, which is why it's crucial, and it's so good that Jerry's is on board to engage the private sector, something I think you know a thing or two about. How does one, because I ask people this question all the time, we're going to have a couple of bodybuilders on after the segment. What does one do how does one go about encouraging the private sector to get involved? Because this is something that's very important. Your thoughts?
Well, to be sincere with you, I'm very happy that Jerry is supporting us in this diplomatic football league, and like other sponsors that we have. And of course, the private sector is very important nowadays to support the sports and such kind of activities. Although it's not easy, because the last year with the COVID, sponsors and those things were very difficult to get back. But anyhow, of course, it is very important. This is very important, the private sectors, because as you know, the government is not playing the role. So we just depend on the private sector to help us.
Yeah, I think it's crucial to get the private sector on board wherever you are, and I think that the private sector has a very important, always has an important role to play. But Agnes, just coming back to you, you mentioned your country, Hungary, where you come from, and when we talk about fledgling sports like football and snooker, squash, whatever, it's important that it starts at the school level.
Absolutely.
Right? So I just want you to expound on that in school, how schools in Hungary and the other Eastern European countries, how seriously they take their sport and how they encourage children at a very young age to get involved. Can you just take us through that process so Pakistan knows what they have to do?
Yeah. So the basic step, I believe, is that every single day, Monday through Friday, there's a 45-minute allocated only to sports. So this is different kind of activities, different movements, teaching the children the technicalities, how to be able to run, for instance. It seems natural, but it's actually quite a complicated thing. And then this 45 minutes also includes playing different sports, playing handball, volleyball, football, tennis sometimes, even swimming classes are included. So the kids get acquainted to a healthy mix. And then there are the extracurricular activities. So after school, children are encouraged to play in the school or in specific clubs. In the school, it's usually for free. So parents don't have to, worry about financial burdens.
Now, I just want to talk a little bit about your team, Brazil United, the team that you're playing for, and then the others, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Kazakhstan. Which is the most challenging team? Which is the toughest team to beat?
Well,
you can say yours as well.
Of course, yeah, Brazil United. Of course, we are one of the strong teams as well, and we are in the second position right now. So the Saudis and the Arab 10, they are very nice as well. Although Germans are very nice as well. But now we are in the last weeks of the matches. Last 2 matches are left in the league, and still we don't know who is going to be the champion. So the difference between the points is like 1 or 2 points. So most probably in the last match of this league, then we are going to have the champion. But also, all the teams are very nice. Even the European guys are very nice, and the Kazakhstan team as well. They are very nice players. So for us, it's like more, rather than to be champion, is to enjoy the league.
I hope you guys don't sledge each other or get involved with football.
It's happened. Agnes knows it's happened some of the time with some of the players. Of course, yeah, it is
but
part of the game.
But that's okay as well.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it's part of the game. I mean, the idea is to build camaraderie within your team, and also because it's all fun and games in the end, to also have a little bit of banter, healthy competition. With the opposition. Exactly. It's important to have that. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Take me through your team's training regime. How much do you practice before a game?
Well,
and do you enjoy practice?
Yeah, of course. Before the match, we just warm up for a while. But in a week, we play twice a week, practicing, and then discussion on the WhatsApp group, the strategies for the matches, and it's like of course you need to train out, but.
All right. Final question to both of you, and then we have to end this segment. The Diplomatic Football League. What are your goals here? Where do you see it going in the next few years, or where do you want it to be?
Well, now it's like a brand. Diplomatic Football League is a brand in Islamabad as well, especially for the diplomats. And we are going to have the next season as well this year. And still, even I was just saying to Agnes that I'm receiving message from some diplomats when the next season is going to start. So yeah, just to have this, to show the promotion of football and the love and the soft image of Pakistan to the world.
Agnes, I'm going to give you the last word, the future of this football league.
Well, we are hoping to be there, helping our international friends promote football, healthy activities, and hopefully we will have a small role in making football a lot more popular in Pakistan.
Right. We're going to leave it at that, Mr. Sajrani. Agnes, thank you very much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure having you on. You're doing great work. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back after a short break. When we come back, we'll discuss bodybuilding in Pakistan. Stay tuned.